My next talk is on, anybody knows? Tips on public speaking. So again, before somebody else asks me, what had happened is I had gone to Stella Maris College once, and there cadet Ashwarya, who got the best cadet in RDC 22, she asked me some advice on public speaking. So I couldn't answer so much when I spoke to in that forum. Subsequently, one or two officers asked me some tips on public speaking. And then I gave a talk on tips on public speaking for the first time in TN Dalu, Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University, about 3 months back. Then I've spoken on the same subject in Delhi Naval Children's School. And I thought this is the third time I'm going to speak on this. And essentially I realized that people of your age are looking on some tips. And I thought my tips may help you in becoming better at public speaking. What is the public speaking all about? So my tip session on public speaking is, I'll try and cover it in 15 minutes so that we are in time for a lunch break. Now first thing, whenever you think of public speaking, you have to first think of something called A. And what is A for? No, now the A is shifted. Awareness is also a right answer, but this tips is on separate. First A. Who's that? Audience. Whenever somebody tells you public speaking, first thing you have to remember is, who is your audience? If you don't get this right, then you will not get your public speaking right. So audience is the first rule of public speaking. Who is your audience? Public means you are speaking to somebody. And related to audience is another word. Auditorium. Where are you going to be speaking? What is the kind of lighting? Are you going to show a presentation? What about lighting? Where is the mic? How is the audience seated? In my staff college, I had found speakers. You know, what is staff college? Defense Services Staff College, Wellington. It is located in Ooty. I have done a tenure as a student officer. I have been an instructor there. I have been a senior instructor there. I have been for a seminar to Tokyo. I have attended a course in US. I have given presentations every place. So it is based on those experiences that I have evolved these tips. Am I right? And I found that, getting to know your auditorium where you're going to speak is important. Good guest speakers arrive the previous day. Come and say, when I come there, audience would be seated like this. Suppose I have 100 cadets. If you all sit like this, it is difficult for me. 100 means sit here, it solves my problem. So getting to know your auditorium, where is the watch, where will you sit, where is the lighting are important. So get your audience, first focus on what is the audience you're going to speak to, where are you going to speak to. If you get this A right, then you have to move to something called C. And what is C in this? Any guess for C? No, that ABCD is the separate tips of success. This is tips on public speaking. Courage is also important. You need courage for public speaking. But this C is separate. Confidence, good. Another C. Communication, good. Another C. Confidence, courage is good. My C, which I advise people, is connection. You must connect with the audience. Otherwise your public speaking will fall flat. How do you connect is something you have to decide. Something you have to figure out. Some interesting. When I was a cadet, when I was a student, NCC you have joined. So some connection you have to build up with the audience for them to accept you, for you to address them on public speaking. So get your audience sorted out, get your auditorium, move to something called C, and then you shift to something called E. And there are two words in E which I'm going to speak about. What is the first guess on E? No, there are only few tips. There are many more. I have got few tips to share from my life. And my next is E. The E which I say is eye contact. Now when you may be public speaking, some of you may be carrying a script. Then how much to make eye contact? When should you look down? When should you look up? What about eye contact to that side? What about eye contact this side? This audience has gone to sleep because I never looked this side. That audience I'm not able to reach. So eye contact with audience is important. And you must get this sorted out depending on situation. For somebody like me who is not speaking without a script, where should you look? Sometimes you may be addressing an audience where your confidence is low. I have addressed an audience where I am little nervous. When I was in staff college, I was speaking and then somebody started yawning. So I suddenly panicked. Or somebody is looking at me as to what are you doing on stage? So you will get different types of audience. So then somebody told me that whenever you're speaking, you maintain an eye contact which is just little above the audience. It means if I'm a little nervous, instead of looking here, I can look little up. You think that I'm looking at you, but actually I'm looking little above. So these are some tips on enhancing your public speaking skills. You may be scared sometimes, but still you have to go up. Where should you look? If you keep looking up, audience will give up on you. But if you look up little above the audience, you are still making some eye contact with them, and you can still pass away that public speaking exercise which comes your way. So what is the A for? Audience, auditorium. C for connection. E for eye contact. The next advice on E is, any guess? Expression good, environment good, entertainment good. Okay, anybody here E? Any guess? Okay, my E which okay, quiet. Okay, good, quiet. My answer for my second advice on E is energy. Okay, have you understood? Whenever you're giving public speaking, you must have high energy. If you don't have energy, you will put audience to sleep. Even if you are nervous, generate a lot of energy, you will be a better public speaker. So eye contact and energy. If you get A's right, then you move to something called GHI. What is G for? Gratitude. You must offer gratitude in your speech whenever you are speaking. Thank the principal for this opportunity. Thank the audience for listening. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank whatever gratitude you have to give depending on your public speaking exercise. So there must be an element of gratitude which you must add whenever you speak in public. You will always do well. Thank Colonel Philip for this opportunity. Thank Hindustan for giving me this auditorium. So certain element of gratitude you must always have in your public speaking. If you get G right, then you have to move to H. What is H for? You must. Okay, good. My answer for my advice for H is hand gestures. Be careful how your hand is. Your hand gesture may irritate the audience, may support you as a public speaker. You can't be nervous, you can't be fidgety, you can't be holding like this. So be careful on your hand gesture. And hand gestures can be irritating or can be expressing. So be careful on hand gesture, and if you are still smart, then you can look for some humor. Are you with me? You have to pay attention. Quiet please. Quiet. I am moving to H. H is hand gesture. The second element of H is humor. If you are smart, if you can be witty, if you can throw a line of joke, then you will be a better public speaker. Adding a joke has never come about with me. Joke in India is not taken in a correct way. I have tried to be humorous in my talks. I have realized I have always regretted. Because in humor, if you make fun of somebody, it may backfire. So humor is something, if you can get it, I have seen good speakers who have got humor. So it is an art. You have to get the right balance. If you get G and H, my next advice is I. What is I for? Okay, which I advise is intention. Your intention should be of sharing and not showing off. Whenever you get a chance of public speaking, if you show off, I have been to Odyssey, I have done this, I have done that, and if you are trying to show off, then the audience doesn't like it. If you are trying to share, then the audience appreciates. Are you with me? So you must have the spirit of sharing and not showing off. So I have touched upon ACE, ACE, I have touched upon GHI. Now I come to KPQ. What is K for? Knowledge. Knowledge on the subject. If you think that you know more than 80% of the audience, then you have the right audience. If you are asked to speak on a subject where everybody else knows more than you in the audience, then you are speaking to the wrong audience, or you are speaking on the wrong subject. Are you with me? So if you ever get an exercise on public speaking, you must acquire more knowledge than the audience. Otherwise, don't speak. Speak on a different subject. Speak to a different audience. But if there is a situation that you have to speak, then you must burn midnight oil to gain more knowledge than most in the audience. Are you with me? So if you get K right, then you have to move to something called P. What is P for? Okay, good, quiet please. Okay, good. My P advice is preparation. You must prepare to be a good public speaker. People have talked about being excellent extempo. There is no extempo speeches. Everybody prepares for a long time to get it right. So you must make adequate preparation wherever you have to speak in public. Okay? And if you get your preparation right, then you have to move to P called practice. You must practice. I have done practices to come. I have practiced to get the sequence right. I have practiced in the night. I have practiced resting here for 10 minutes. I said, so nothing comes without practice and preparation. So you must get the preparation right and practice right. Nobody speaks well without practice. It is a misnomer that somebody is speaking example. People practice, people have rehearsed, then only it comes out well. And if you get K and P right, then you have to move to Q. And what is Q for? You must use some quotes in your talk if possible. If you can use it, these are some tips. The more you follow this, the better public speaker you become. If you can use quotes, nothing like it. And another cue you have to focus is on likely questions. When you speak and when you are open to questions, what are the questions which can come? So if you do this KPQ right, KPQ, then you have to move to something called T. And T is time management. Every audience has got only finite amount of patience. Am I right? All of you are losing patience because long time has passed. There have been exhaustive question answered. Most of you have given patience. So audience has less patience. So you must manage your time well. And if you get T right, then you move to something called W, which is the last one. And what is W? W is simple. Words. Words are very powerful. Words can put you to sleep. Words can wake you up. Words can be used to run a company, run a ship, run an organization, run a country. Mr. Churchill was one of the most significant world leaders of 20th century. Has anybody heard of Mr. Churchill? He was a British Prime Minister on two occasions, 1940 to 45, 1951 to 55. He has to take the country to war with Germans as a part of allies during the Second World War. Mobilizing a country to war is not as simple. But it is power of words that he was able to mobilize his countrymen and take them to participate in World War II. And he is one of the best speakers in history. So if you have this is a skill which you must enhance. When he was a young MP, when he was in the military, he always worked on this skill. So if you get opportunity for public speaking, you must take it. You must enhance it as you go through the journey. I have not been an excellent public speaker before, or I have not been good enough as in the past. But I have taken time to enhance, taken time to prepare, rehearse, practice, go through this motion. I ask him so many questions. Where am I addressing? Where is the audience? How many cadets are there? Who all are going to be there? What is going to happen? So when you go through this, and I have just put them in alphabetical sequence for ease of my journey, so that I don't forget. Am I right? So this is a map I have made for myself. This is again not read in a book, since I had to address an audience without a script. and I don't use notes nowadays. I said, let me remember through A to Z, and that's how I've got this. And these are some tips I thought I can share with you on public speaking, and I would thank you all for your patience. So that's all. Thank you. Jai Hind.